Hey guys, you're joining me here on my property on a beautiful spring day, and today I want to share with you one of my favorite wild edibles, and it's called garlic mustard. It's this stalk here. It's actually a little late in the season for it. I should have shown you when it was a little shorter and just started to, before it started flowering, but you can still make some pretty good pesto out of it, which I'll show you. It's a little bit strong at this point, but it's still decent. But basically, garlic mustard is not native to the United States here. It's actually native to Europe and parts of Asia, and it's really become an obnoxious weed in the sense that it's hard to eradicate. Once it goes to flower and then to seed, it spreads really easily, and it can overtake a lot of our native plants that really should be here. And so anytime that you see it, whether on your property or out in the, some nature reserve or a park or something, you know, harvest it, take as much as you want. It doesn't belong there anyways, and it's hard to, again, like I said, eradicate. So if you can get it before it flowers, which is the prime time to get it anyways, it's perfect. So let's quickly go over how to identify a garlic mustard. So first off, what you're going to find is actually in its first year these small, I guess you call it a basal rosette here, and you'll see small kind of scalloped leaves like this. You can see they're more heart-shaped. That's the first year, and the leaves are pretty spicy at that point, and they're pretty pungent. I mean, just like the name says, it's garlic mustard, so it smells, it's from the mustard plant, but it smells like garlic. It has that garlic flavor to it. In addition to that, the second year, you'll see it's more like this stalk, and the leaves are kind of heart-shaped. They're not so scalloped like the basal rosette, but you can see that they're more toothed. They have stronger tooths or teeth, and the stalk is pretty solid, and it's solid to the center. It's not going to be hollow. It's kind of actually hard to break. And you can see it's a little bit white inside. And besides that, the petioles, which is like the stem coming off the leaf, you can see that they have a slight indentation to it, like a slight groove. And so basically what you want to look for is leaves that are kind of heart-shaped, that they have strong teeth to it. But most of all, probably the best way to tell is just to take the leaf, crush it up a little bit, and you're going to want to crush it up a bunch. If later in the season, like now, you can smell it a lot stronger, but early in the season it doesn't really have that garlic smell as strong as right now. Right now you can smell it's really strong, and to taste it, it's actually pretty spicy at this point. This is a perfect time if you want something for seasoning, but beyond that, it's pretty strong. Like what I'm going to show you today is how to make pesto out of it. Yeah, so again, the best time to get it is before it flowers, before it hits the seed stage. But you still can make a pretty decent pesto out of it. So let's go inside and I'll show you how you can do that. So what you're going to need is obviously the garlic mustard. I'm just doing a small batch here, but after we wash it and clean it, you want about 3 cups of that garlic mustard. I also have some salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese, olive oil, walnuts, or the combination of walnuts and pine nuts is what I like, and some way of blending it, a food processor or a blender. So let's wash this stuff up first. Okay, so washing it isn't really rocket science. You just rinse the leaves, make sure you're getting any dirt off of it, bugs, that kind of thing. And you'll see that the leaves actually compress quite a bit after they get wet. So you might have a big bowl of dry leaves, but once it's wet, they kind of compress down, similar to spinach. Now, I'll also remove a lot of this, like these seed heads. And if you're doing it the right time of year, you're not going to have seed heads. Some of the petioles, you know, the little stems coming off the leaves, so it's a good idea to take off. You don't have to go too crazy with that, but depending on how fine you want your pesto to be. Okay, so to make this stuff, it's pretty easy. Basically what I'll do is take a measuring cup, like this is a cup exactly, and throw about a cup of these leaves. Obviously it's a little compressed, so I probably gathered about 4 cups to make it compressed about 1 cup, just to kind of give you an idea. So once I have that, I'll take 1 cup of those wet compressed leaves, throw it in the blender, and then what I'll do is make another cup of nuts. So I'm going to do a mixture of these pine nuts. So I did half pine nuts and half walnuts. To make about a cup of them. A few more in here. And then what I'm going to do is take, so again you have a cup of the compressed leaves, a cup of some type of nut, and then what you want to do is take half that amount in olive oil. So let's get this stuff out of here. And what I'm going to do is blend it and then slowly add it. Okay, so I got the lid. I'm going to actually pour just a little bit of olive oil in it, maybe about 1/3 of what I put in the measuring cup, and then just grind it on low right now. And then just slowly add the oil as it's grinding. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Alright, so I let this grind about 3 minutes, and then the final step, or second to last step, is you're going to want to add some Parmesan cheese. And I'll usually do about 2/3 of a cup, and just throw that in, and let it just mix up on low. Alright, and then the final step is you just add a little salt and pepper to taste. You don't have to do that. I like to add just a little bit. And then just do another mix. And there you have it. You got garlic mustard pesto. Give it a try. It's actually very good. And despite it's got a little strong of a taste, it's still very good. It's great with pasta, or you can use it as a dip. So give this a whirl, you guys. It's best, again, if you get this earlier on in the season. I think that's the best taste, but even here late in the season, it's really good.